Statistics show there are nearly 10 million new cases of dementia diagnosed every year. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia, but other forms are also becoming better understood. Pines of Sarasota not only provides care for those affected by this disease, but is also on the forefront of education. Joanne Westbrook and Tom Koski from Pines of Sarasota are with us today to teach us about Lewy body dementia. Now, is this a new form or just something that is more specific than we've known about before?
It's not a new form, but it is quite often misdiagnosed as another dementia, Parkinson's. And one of the problems with it is that they have similar characteristics, but they are very, very different. And it is probably the second leading cause of dementia, and it's getting misdiagnosed, which is one of the reasons we wanted to talk about the film and be able to let people know a little bit more about the symptoms and what to be looking for.
We'll get to the film in just a second, but I'm trying to personally understand more about this form of dementia. Why is it misunderstood, and why is it important that the form of dementia is specifically recognized and treated?
Absolutely. For example, with Lewy body, it is all over the top. The Lewy bodies cover the entire top of your head. So it's tapping into all areas of your brain. So your behaviors, you're having severe hallucinations. And it's episodic, which is very scary because that means if you go to the doctor and all of a sudden you look fine, but when you go home you have a full-blown episode and the doctor says, well, I can't give you any medication if you're not showing me any symptoms. And so the best thing to do with that is when you're at home and there's an episode, film it on your phone, your iPad, and then go to the doctor and say, this is what we're experiencing.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, because it's complicated with medication. There's a lot of problems with Parkinson medication if you give it to someone with Lewy body, and they're very sensitive. So there's a lot of problems with this particular dementia, and there are a lot of hard falls. And so when you're taking someone into a campus or a facility and they're having difficulties with this, they're not going to be able to control them all the time because this is, you know, they may have 4, 5, 6 falls all at once and then go 3 months without a fall.
So you mentioned the film. So the Pines is doing something very specific to help educate people about this.
Yes,
Tell us
actually,
about that.
what we did is I worked with a gentleman that's in the UK, and his name is Jay. And Jay and I worked together for several years, actually, putting this together, along with Teepa Snow, who's an occupational therapist. She's amazing. And we wanted to make sure the symptoms were correct, and we got really good information on the film. But what I love is that it's more about the arts. It's a film. It's classical. It's not a documentary, you know, like a death by PowerPoint type thing.
Right.
So it is fantastic.
It's
It's very personal, and it was done very well. And couldn't have done it without Mr. Koski's Foundation. I'm so very grateful for that, and he will be here for a week, and we're going to have an opportunity to really work with him. And then Mr. Koski will be talking with him in the audience and have an interaction as to why this is important for resource information for families.
And I think this is great that people understand that Pines is not just treating, they're also educating. So Tom, tell us a little bit about the Education Institute and how you've gotten involved.
Well, I'm involved with my family foundation, the Koski Family Foundation. Years ago, I met Joanne, and they were trying to put together a program that I think we're talking about in a minute that is about education. My personal mantra is there's nothing wrong with this world that a good education can't fix. And the areas of education are important. And when it comes to dementia, if we don't know how to identify not only what type of dementia an individual has, but the level that they're at, it's very, very important, because someone can come into an emergency room and they think they're just crazy. They think they're just something else. But if you can identify that, it's important. So my family foundation got involved, and they have this education program that is absolutely wonderful.
And this film coming up is just one part of the education programs that you have. You also have a series of other resources that are available.
And classes, we're seeing some video there from, I believe, what is some of the caregiving
Teepa Snow,
assisted.
That's Teepa Snow training. And we have so many resources, and we created it so we could get as much as possible out there. So we have webinars, streaming. We have 25 different DVDs on every possible subject.
That's
and when we do a live program, we have these wonderful performers who come in, and Tifa Snow is fantastic. But it's an exciting adventure, and we also have group training for big facilities if they want to train their staff. 24/7, it's available to them.
What a great resource.
It's great to know that Pines is here not just for the caregiving, but also to help educate the community. A great resource. If you're interested in more about the film screening and discussion of Where Did You Go about Lewy body dementia, it will be at Riverview High School on January 25th. For more information, you can visit pinesofsarasota.org. Coming up next, we have a happy update about our friend Hamilton the pig.